What's going on, everyone? Welcome, Rabid here, and the big boys are beginning to enter the Pearl game with Kryptex opening up their mining pool, and this does support the faster miner SRB miner. So we're going to take a look at this, show you how to set it up, and they have some game-changing features like getting paid out in Bitcoin, which is pretty amazing right now because as Pearl profits are up, Bitcoin price is down. You're going to earn a lot more Bitcoin because of it. Let's get into this. All right, so coming into the pool right here, we just click on the Pearl pool. We come into this page here. Now here's all your stratums and everything. There's also a solo mode. So some of you guys are wondering how you can solo mine Pearl as well. So Kryptex does allow solo mining on top of pool mining. And the other thing here is if you make an account, then you can set up the auto exchange, which then allows you to get paid out in multiple different ways. As we go, I'll go to payouts here. So what's going to happen is it's going to auto exchange your funds as you mine into Bitcoin, and then you can choose to get paid out in Bitcoin and all these other variations like USDT on the BEP20, on the TRC20, on Polygon for USDC, all sorts of multiple different ways to get paid out. But I know the big one for a lot of you guys is just straight up getting paid out in straight Bitcoin. Also, they're going to have the profit switching app available as well, which I'm going to show you how to set up at the end of all this to make everything nice and easy. All right, guys, so let's start with the basics here, and we're going to need our wallet first. So on their website, we can see that they do have a link straight to the Pearl wallet. So you're just simply going to click on that if you don't yet have it. Most of you probably do by now, but just in case you're new, you're going to scroll on down here and download the wallet for you. So here's the Windows one. Here you can see, they got the Linux versions, all sorts of versions for you. So once you get that, obviously, run it and get your wallet address, hit the receive button there and have it available. Next, we're going to have to set up our miner. We're going to begin in HiveOS. It has everything right here. Here we have Windows. You can download either miner. The link is to it. It's got the Linux version here and the HiveOS. We're going to start with HiveOS and then move into the Windows version, which now SRB Miner did release a native Windows miner, so it made life nice and easy. No more WSL here. So we're going to click on here, copy this right across the board, copy, and then we're going to come into our HiveOS flight sheet here. Now, we're not going to put a wallet in yet. We're going to put that in when we paste this in. So we're going to go to clipboard here, and there you go. It pasted everything in. Now you can see we're going to have to enter our wallet. We don't have a wallet here, so we're going to add our wallet right here. And in order to add it, now you just copy your wallet address into this spot right here. All right, so I pasted my wallet address in there. Now I'm going to name it. I don't know. I'm just going to go Kryptex GUI wallet. I'm just going to do that because I'm using my main address as I do for my GUI, but this is going to be a separate one for Kryptex because it's kind of using a different coin name than my other ones. That's why some of my other ones aren't showing up here. They're named Pearl when I manually create them. Anyway, this is all you got to do now is create that wallet like so. Now we have our wallet in here that we just named. If we come in the setup miner config, we can see everything is there by default. It is all set up by itself, so you don't have to do anything else. So now we're going to name this whatever we want. So I'm just going to go Kryptex Pearl video, so that way I know what it is, and it looks like I had cap locks on, but that's okay. It's all craziness. We know what we're doing here. We're gonna hit the create button here, come in, and now we can see Kryptex Pearl video. So our flight sheet is all made now utilizing SRB miner. So I'm just gonna take these two rigs right here. We know we'll do them one at a time. That way we can go like this. So if I go into flight sheets, you can see here is that one we just made. I'm gonna send that rocket ship to the moon and start mining on Kryptex. I'm going to go to my other rig now. I'm going to take this one. I'm going to send that one to the moon as well because we're putting both our rigs on here because Pearl is looking pretty nice. Now, if you have multiple rigs and you know your flight sheet is going to work, you can just, click on this and it'll highlight all your rigs or only certain rigs. And then you can come up into here and then find Pearl. So where's Pearl here somewhere, wherever we can, it's PRL in this case. Right there. Now you can see this is a flight sheet we just made. If you click that, it'll send that flight sheet to all the rigs you have checked, making it even faster and easier than going one by one. But I wanted to point out the manual setup in there. So now we just got to wait for the miner to download, get some hash rate going, and check our stats at the pool. All right, so now we're going to go back to the main page here, which is where all our pool URLs and everything is here that we started with. And we're going to come up top here and just paste our wallet address in to see if we're detected at the pool yet. And yeah, there we go. It looks like it is starting to ramp up. We can see our worker prop, everything is going here. So that's a bonus here. Now, I'm not sure why this is named worker. That part's interesting. What's the hash rate? Yeah, so anyway. And we're working right now. We're seeing hash rate picking up like crazy. I'm going to come in and just check our rig to make sure we're getting hash rate. This rig is, yes, it is hashing away. Come back into here. And there we go. So yes, it's definitely looking like SRB miner is running. We have about 600 terahash here, and then 162 terahash here for a total of around 762 terahash now, pointing into the Kryptex mining pool. But the names don't seem to be right, so I might have to do a little bit of tweaking on that part of things. All right, guys. So we did get the worker thing kind of fixed here. It is a known SRB miner bug. Depending on the version, this is what happens. So I'm just going to come into here. And if we look, I did adjust my flight sheet to have my worker name in with the wallet, as we can see right here. So by default, it says worker here. Now, some versions you need it here and it doesn't work like we just seen. So you will need it here. Now, if it's working under the worker and you do it this way, you'll see your worker name pop up twice. So just to point out, looks like with this version that's currently released, you do need your worker name besides your wallet inside of it, like we traditionally do with miners here. So keep that in mind when trying to set up your worker name. All right, so we are detected at the pool, as we can see here. Now, keep in mind when you're just mining directly to the pool with your traditional wallet address, you're only getting paid out in Pearl. I will have two separate links down in the description, one to pool mine here, straight to the pool, and the other one for account setup. Now, with your account setup, that is when you're going to get paid in Bitcoin and what you got to do. So now in HiveOS, let's set up the account base. So first thing you got to do is obviously make an account on Kryptex. And once you do that, you can see up here, this is my account name. So the KRXXV68P67, that's pretty much the exact same thing. That's what you're going to use for your username and wallet address instead of using the Pearl address. So now we're going to go to set this up here. So if we come in and simply connect hardware in the middle here, we're going to come in for Pearl. So we're just going to scroll down until we find Pearl right here, PRL, global stratum again. And here you can see this is what we're going to set up. So here's our pool address. It is the exact same pool. We'll cross-reference it. And then this is all we're going to do for our username is now instead of a wallet address, we're going to have this worker name right here. So you can set up a new wallet address actually with your username. So I'm just going to copy this like so, and we're going to come back into HiveOS. Now you can start a whole new flight sheet or edit this one, but I'm just going to come in and add a new wallet to this. And this one, I'm going to go like that. And this is going to be our worker name like so. And I'm just going to call this, Kryptex account. So now we know exactly what it is. So this is what we're going to be using for our wallet address at this point. So we just made a new wallet address right here. And now that's what I'm going to be using for this. So I'm just going to update this flight sheet now, and it will change for all my flight sheets that's using this. So it's going to work for both workers here. So scrolling on down, we can see both of them did change. If I come to my flight sheet, it is using that for our wallet address. And if I just come in and check out here, we can see wallet worker name and wallet worker name. And just so you can confirm, the pool address, see Pearl Kryptex Network 7048 is exactly the same. Pearl Kryptex Network 7048. So everything is exactly the same. You're just adjusting your wallet address for your username on your account. Other than that, everything else is exactly the same. All right, guys. So we just click on our hardware tab here. Once you get that set up, our rig should detect here. And there we go. We can see under our account, our rigs are detected. You can click the little down arrows and that will show you your stats and everything for hash rates and everything that's going on. As well as looks like your earnings here is popping up and everything here. So that's awesome. Allow it to, obviously mine longer to get up-to-date information as it's just starting up, so it has to ramp up all your hardware. But here we can see our probability as well at the top of the screen, and now this is all going to be converted into Bitcoin, and you can get paid out in Bitcoin. So later on, you can just watch your stats start to kind of pick up here, and then eventually you can select which one you want to get paid out and how you want to do it, and all sorts of good stuff. So that's awesome, and a feature a lot of miners truly love when it comes to mining, because all they care about is collecting more and more Bitcoin. All right, so now that we got everything running in HiveOS, let's jump into Windows. And there's a couple ways we're going to do this. First, we're going to do mining straight to the pool like we did in HiveOS. We're also going to mine to our account, but also Kryptex has their Windows miner, which is profit switching and does all this stuff through your account. And that would be the absolute best way to get up and running in Windows. But first, if you just want to mine to the pool, let's show you the basic ways, and then we'll jump into that Kryptex miner. So just like in HiveOS, obviously you're going to need your wallet. You should have everything by now. But if you don't, here is the Windows wallet here. Click on that, and that'll take you to the download links. Coming in, SRB miner, LP miner is your options. Obviously, SRB miner does have more hash now and is the recommended miner to use for Pearl mining. So we're going to click on that, and that's going to take us to a download page. Here you can either obviously pick Linux or Windows. We're going with Windows here, obviously, because we did HiveOS already, and now you're just simply going to download the miner. I already have it, so I don't need to download it again. Once you do that, simply extract it, and then we're going to bring up our sheet here to create our miner. So here we are coming into here. Here's SRB miner multi. Here's our algorithm. It's already set to pre-hash. Pool, you're going to have to adjust this to the Kryptex mining pool. It's defaulted to, I believe, Lucky Pool and something else. So change that to your pool parameters, which you can find right in their pool here, obviously. Right here, just select the global right here. So copy that, bring up your bat file here, and then paste that in right here. Wallet, you're going to want to paste your wallet address in right here. And as mentioned earlier, put your worker name right after your wallet address so it does show up on the pool. So .rabidws is my workstation. You can also put it here, and then in future updates, if you end up seeing a double worker name, just remove it from your wallet address and keep it on the worker side here. But for now, in order to see our worker, we do need it after our address. Once you have that all set up, obviously just save that file and then double click that bat file. So I did rename mine to Pearl Kryptex so that I know which coin I'm mining and the pool it's set up for. When you first get this, though, obviously it does say right here, start mining Pearl. This is what you're going to have by default. And then you just, right click, like I mentioned, edit it in Notepad and adjust all the parameters. So anyway, we got ours working, Pearl Kryptex. I'm going to double click on that now, run it, and we should now begin mining. So now we can see we're connected to the pool. Right there, we're connected. Everything is good. So we're just going to let this run for a little bit, and we should be detected at the pool here. So I'm just going to jump into where it is. So we're already up and running. Like this was on before I closed it. It is pretty darn fast when detecting your hardware. I'm just going to hit a refresh to make sure. Yeah. So like as soon as it connects, before it even starts sending shares, you will see your little green light here. It's like 30 seconds or less that your rig does pop up. All right, so we can see shares are being found. We are detected at the pool. We got hash rate popping up. Everything is A-OK. Now, the next thing we go, you want to get paid out in Bitcoin. We got to adjust this all to our account base. So at this point, we're going to close our miner here, stop that. We're going to come back into my account as we do see hardware. I do not have my workstation or anything here. We do have our Octaminers rolling here. So here is our name again. So we're just going to bring up our bat file just like we had before, and I'm just going to simply edit it. So bring that up here, and I'm going to adjust this right here. So again, our wallet address is going to change from our Pearl address to our account. That's the only change here. Everything else is exactly the same. We're just mining to our account now after you register that account. So I'm going to save this. Save that right there. Now I'm going to double click on this, and here we go, run. And now we should see we're connecting up. So hash rate represents connected to Pearl. Everything is connected, no errors, nothing's popping up. So we should be good to go. Now just wait a few minutes and see if we pop up. Share was accepted. All right, guys. So it was like 15, 20 seconds. And we can see we are offline at the pool here and we're already online at our account base. So there we go. Awesome stuff. We are rocking and rolling in both HiveOS and Windows. But now let's take a look at the Kryptex app. And if you're a Windows miner, this is the way you want to roll. All right, guys, to use the actual app, you're going to go to your dashboard here, connect hardware, and instead of the Kryptex pool tab, we're going to go to Kryptex miner. And here you're going to see install Kryptex. Here's the step, start the miner, and then wait. It's going to do some calculations based on everything. If you're used to mining with NiceHash, think of this as like the NiceHash miner, where it profit switches all sorts of stuff on your CPU coins as well as GPU coins. So we're going to install the Kryptex miner here. And I'm just going to, here's version 5, the latest version that just released with Pearl mining. I'm simply going to save that in my downloads here. Save that. And now once this downloads, we're going to set this thing up. So you are going to need an account for this to actually work. So once this is done downloading, almost done with my slow Canadian internet, we're going to double click on that, or I guess single click. More information, run anyway. Now we can see Kryptex setup is downloading. So we're going to let it go through this process here and we'll be right back. All right, guys. So I installed it. I logged in with my account and then this is what popped up. Now it was turned on previously. You can see here and then it automatically just starts mining things, but we got to do a new benchmark. So we're going to shut this thing off until resumed. Turn everything off. I guess we'll leave those on for now. But we're going to come into our settings here and run a benchmark because Pearl is new and it hasn't been benchmarked yet. So it's not going to go over stuff. So if this is the first time running this, obviously you're going to want to do that benchmark. But it detects all your hardware you have on your rig, and then it's going to mine the most profitable on your CPU and your GPU if you have it turned off or on at this point. But anyway, we're going to come into settings here, and here you can see benchmark. So I'm going to click that, and it's going to be benchmarking our hardware based on everything. So I'm just going to let this run for a little while, and then we'll come back when it's done. It does say it will run tests for 5 to 15 minutes to find the best coin and miner for your hardware. All right, so once you click that benchmarking here, hit the X and then engage everything, and it should start the benchmarking process right there. So now we're just going to wait it out and see what things are looking like. All right, guys. So there we have it. Benchmarking is complete. And now obviously it chose Pearl. I was going through everything. You know, some things were only making like $50 a month and stuff, which is like 40 cents a day. Pretty insane. This is in Canadian dollars here, obviously, because I'm from Canada. You can change it to whatever you want. It did benchmark my CPU. I turned that off when I was done, but now we can see it's also selecting Zealous hash for, or Zell here, for the top coin here. So you can mine on both CPU and GPU, and you don't have to look around for top coins. You don't have to download all these miners. You just download the app. It has all the miners in it. It benchmarked around 10 different coins, and then it checked which miner was best to use on that coin, and then it come down to what you're going to get. And here is pretty much is saying 1550 a day or 465 per month on my RTX 4090 in Canadian dollars here. So life is really easy when it comes to mining crypto with the Kryptex version 5 app. So again, you do need an account for this. I will have links to the pool as well as to the account base. Click on whichever one you want to do. And in this case, you're also going to be getting paid in Bitcoin while doing this. Now, also while you're inside the app here, if you click on the little setting symbol here, you can tell it to turn off certain coins, turn on coins. You can also do your own type of overclocking here. So I just got to find out where that was. So, oh, right there. So yeah, if you click on the coin, you can set separate overclocks for each coin as well. So here you can see, you can set your core, your offset. Again, I'm just using the LOL miner right here like we did previously. And to see all your stats, if you click on this little symbol right here, that'll bring you to their website. And now your dashboard is actually, you know, where all your stats are for mining through the app. If you come into hardware here, you can see, you can turn it off or on each computer. If you have them spread throughout your house, multiple computers, you can just go straight into the dashboard here and turn each computer off or on. You can see the hash rate you have on a whole bunch of individual coins through that app. So like, again, if you're a Windows miner mining crypto, Kryptex makes this extremely easy. Also, you're getting paid out in Bitcoin, which most people do want these days. All right, so I was just playing around with the app here. So we are mining, it's kicking in. Now, if I come into the dashboard and just click it off here, we come in and look at it, it should shut off. And there we go. Mining is paused. And then when we engage it, it should kick back on. There we go. It's turning back on all on its own by running it all through the dashboard here. And it only enables stuff that you already had checked on. Like here, you can see I have this checked on. It didn't do anything I didn't have checked on. So you got to manually turn on what you want. And then from that point, you can set it all up inside of your dashboard and check it from the web browser. Maybe, maybe you're at work somewhere. You can turn rigs off and on and so on. So that's a really nice feature. But anyway, guys, hopefully this video did help you out. Kryptex has entered the game for Pearl mining. I showed you how to set this up in HiveOS as well as Windows and the Kryptex app. I showed you how to mine it just to get directly Pearl, or I showed you how to swap that over and get Bitcoin by utilizing your account. So again, links will be down in the description. One more thing that I do want to point out, I do want to thank Kryptex for sponsoring this video and giving it a nice, easy alternative to all the Windows miners out there and allowing Bitcoin payments out there. Now, one thing to keep in mind though, the Bitcoin payments, depending on the exchange and the maturity of Pearl, it may take anywhere from 1 to 8 hours to receive Bitcoin. So just remain patient in your dashboard and stuff for that, because it does have to do that whole conversion over, and Pearl is kind of slow. So keep that in mind. But anyway, guys, thank you for checking out this video. Please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that new hype button. Share this video around so more people can see how to get up and running fast and easy. And I'll see you on the next one. Rabid out.